Hello, my name is Madelyn Knight. My parents are Derek and Mandy Knight. I have a brother Ethan and a sister Evelyn. You probably know us. We've been coming here for years. You might not have spoken to me, though. I'm a bit of a wallflower at times. I don't like people making fuss for me. I prefer to stand with rather than in front, to be a part of rather than the focus. I have a bit of a struggle with this baptism. I want to declare my love and desire for living with Christ, and I appreciate that I have so many people who care for me and love me and want to share this moment with me. But I also feel like this is a moment for me and my Christ. I want to do it alone. Yet I know this is something people in my community would want to share in. It is a declaration. So you all get to be with me while I have this private and special moment with my God. I used to live differently. I felt empty, like I was missing something. I tried to fill the emptiness with a bunch of human things, being the best at swimming or math and letting others know I'm the best. I struggle with that, definitely. I'm a poor sport. I'm working on it, all right? I felt the urge to point out someone else's faults here to take the focus off of me, but also to break the awkwardness, but decided against it. This is how my human brain wants me to live. But being the best and rubbing it in others' faces never satisfied. I felt hungry all the time, craving something that I didn't know to satisfy my hunger. It was a very empty way to live. Then something changed. I can't tell you when exactly, but a few months ago I started senior youth group, and I realized the thing I was missing was God. I realized when I tried to fill the emptiness with God, I felt more complete. I started to notice little changes in myself. I became excited to go to church every week. I started to want to go to Kingsway Youth for more than just the game and snacks. I became excited to listen to church, even asking questions when I didn't understand. I read the Bible by myself. I found something that filled the emptiness inside of me. I'm now fuller and more alive, happier. I'm very excited to learn about Jesus. One day in church, I was sitting over there in my usual area. The song, What a Beautiful Name, came on. I found my mind wandering. I found that I wasn't just singing along, but carefully considering the words and what they meant to me. I began to cry. I realized God is a good God. I want to know him more. I suddenly realized his sacrifice on the cross wasn't just for sins, but for my sins. It was because he loved me enough to die for me. Even if I was the only, he would have, because I am enough for him. How do you repay this kind of love? You can't. There were a lot of people who helped me get to this point. I like listening to Mark's sermons. He has a gift for making the message personal to me. When Becky speaks at youth, it inspires me. She talks about a lot of things that seem to be exactly what I need to hear. She has a way of saying them that makes me want to be better. There are other adults in the church that speak to me too, and I'm very appreciative for them. I'm very appreciative of them. My parents and I are the first to go when I have questions, and they put a lot of effort into making it make sense to me and clear up any questions I might have. They also make church and youth a priority for me. I'm very thankful for that. Now I find myself here, in front of you all, having this private yet public moment with my God. I understand and acknowledge that I am a sinner. I want to stop living in my sin and instead do something about it. I want now to wash away my sins and start as a new person, but this time being born through Jesus and with Jesus, because Jesus died for me, and I want to live for him. Thank you.
Madelyn, congrats, you found a way to make Kingsway even fuller. Your father and I are so blessed to call you daughter. We marvel at the uniqueness of God's creation in you. You are wicked, intelligent, analytical, and wise beyond your years. God has gifted you in incredible ways. I know that you struggled a little through writing your testimony. I know from my own experience that after hearing other testimonies, sometimes it makes, or other testimonies that could be turned into movies, it leaves one feeling a little self-conscious that yours is lacking the same zitzpah. I didn't even know that testimony envy could be a thing, but I want to encourage you that that isn't the level of drama or pain that got you to this point that matters. Rather, it's your drive to seek God and your willingness to be used for his purposes that count. As your 15th birthday approaches, we've had some discussions about your getting a job, so I thought I'd continue on that discussion in a different sort of way. Madelyn, God has a help wanted sign. God is actively seeking applicants who are willing to set aside their personal comforts and interests to follow him and participate in his ministry. He wants obedient, focused, and committed followers who would not only trust him, but would submit to his authority and way of doing things especially when it isn't easy. In our lives, we have a series of experiences and trials that make us who we are. The majority of these experiences for you are still ahead. These experiences can make us stronger and can uniquely equip us to help those who find themselves in similar situations. We are all made different and have different purposes within the family of Christ. As it says in 1 Corinthians 12:27, all of you together are Christ's body, and each of you is a part of it. And in the same lines as God's help wanted sign, the cherry on the top is that God accepts all those who apply. It would be impossible for your father and I to be happier for this decision you've made. We love you and love seeing the beautiful young woman of God that you are becoming.
I'll take that side. I already rolled up that sleeve. You may notice that there's some names and signatures and dates on this tub. So, what we believe as Jesus followers is that an old life is left behind and a new life begins in the moment that we give our lives to Christ. And like she said, she wasn't sure exactly when that, day was, but today marks a really important moment of saying, I've left that behind forever. And so, Maddie, we're going to ask you afterwards to come back up here and sign your name, and today's date on here is the date that my old life was left behind. And you can see all these other names on here, and we're just excited about that. So, Madelyn, have you given your life to Christ? And you believe that He is God and that He died in your place? And you're going to live for Him for the rest of your life? Then, based on your confession of Jesus as your Lord and as your Savior, we're going to baptize you in His name. I know, it's amazing. So if you were, maybe you're here today and you're like wondering, it's like, I didn't know what baptism was all about. But now after seeing this, you're like, yeah, I know that I need to as well. You'll know it here. You'll know it here. Nobody just out decides, I'm going to walk into a church building and just jump in a puddle of water in front of a whole bunch of strangers. Nobody does that. So if you have this drawing on the inside saying, you know what, that's me, I need to do that, that's the Lord speaking to you. And I'd encourage you to get in touch with me. I'd love to make this possible for you as well.